New torture photos being released by Obama. They're going to release the lighter ones. That's what happened last time. This is being done as a political stunt. They're continuing the torture, continuing the secret arrest, continuing no rights for detainees. This is a political stunt to further politicize things and hurt the Republican Party itself so the Democrats get an even bigger supermajority and further destroy separation of powers. Speaking of separation of powers, Heritage Foundation reporting, so is the Associated Press, Defense Department gag order on all brass. Not allowed to talk to the press and not allowed to talk to Congress. Secretary Gates, Robert Gates, has made them. By the way, you can't, under law, compel anybody in the military to, waive their rights if something isn't classified to the media or to the public, and you certainly can't keep them from talking to Congress, even in classified meetings. So first they tell Congress, PDD 51 on the cover page, the accompanying executive order, states the president now runs all national security emergencies. Congress has no oversight and no involvement and has no say in anything here in the future. And members of Congress came out and said, this is martial law. And the head of the Homeland Security Committee, after different members of his committee for months tried to get it, came out and said, this is unbelievable. Congress is co-equal to the president. We have the highest security clearance. We need to see all of PDD 51. But this executive order and the accompanying presidential decision directive states on the cover page that he's basically a dictator for any financial emergency, any other emergency. Congress, the governors, the John Warner Defense Authorization Act dovetails with that. This looks like martial law. And they said, hey, sit down, shut up. We run things now. Well, now Congress, 5 congressmen, this just broke over the weekend, 5 different congressmen have gone public, including Republicans. Like 3 of the 5 are Republicans, saying, you can't put a gag order on all brass. In fact, they always have to swear to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth. And, of course, the Pentagon's a giant stealing cash machine of around $1.5 trillion a year, not counting black budget. That's another $800 billion. So we're talking 2+ trillion. What would that be? $2.3 trillion and growing, not counting all the cocaine and heroin money, another $400 billion a year they're making. And, the generals are a revolving door with the multinational defense contractors. Halliburton gets $15 million for blue tarps they put up. One blue tarp, $15 million. It's just incredible. And so they're saying that now Congress can't talk to the brass. I mean, this government is so rogue, so criminal, so evil. And they're telling Congress, sit down and shut up, or it'll all come out who your mistresses and hookers are. It'll all come out when you were 35, 36, 37 years old, when you were the mayor or whatever, that you did A, B, and C. That's why they admit the Pentagon's given out over $70 billion last time I checked to privates and captains and sergeants. They give colonels over $1 million a year on the side. And they say, what's this for? And these big pallets of cash. And they said, it's just for doing a good job. But later they come back to them and go, now listen, you took the money too. Now you marked down that missile system was used in combat. You fill out a fake report. Well, that's illegal. Do you want us to kill you? Do you know how many officers we've killed? We've got a private Merc team that'll come in here and then kill your whole family. Do you understand? Yes, sir. I'll do whatever you say. Okay. By the way, do I get an extra couple $100,000? No, you don't. You never get money again. You work for us now. You got it? We got cocaine you're going to ship. Also, the attacks on free speech and the DHS reports to be used to then deny no judge, no jury, no arrest. I told you, and Homeland Security said this, you're going to be on a no work list, no own a gun list, no fly list. The no fly list is a master list under Patriot Act compliance. They have a criminal list of over 4 million names, 1,100,000 on the no fly list, the terror list. No judge, no jury, no indictment. Congressmen are on it. Movie stars are on it. On purpose, they won't take you off. They just say, we don't care. If you don't like it, SWAT team will drive by. And, literally. And, it's force. We're going to do this. We're criminal. There's no due process. Ha ha. We wear black uniforms. We're foreign bankers. We got a bunch of roid heads out of the military. They'll do whatever they're told. They've been kicking down doors in Fallujah. They're here now. You can all day worship the military and love them all day. And I know a lot of people are good in the military and are upset about what's happening. And Ron Paul got most of the donations from the military. And I know that. But they found, sifting through the military people, the scum. Like they're panning for gold. They're panning for New World Order trash. And they got all the sand to them, all the good veterans and military or, the good cops. That's junk. They're going, oh, look at that little psycho. Look at that little thug. They're panning in there. Got all that sand going back and forth. Who's you looking at? You know how you pan for gold, who's, that's a good analogy. All right, let's go to oh, you want the gold? You want to know where the gold at? Let's do an image search of jackboot. Let's look at who they're just Google jackbooted thugs. Yeah, there's a jackbooted thug. So, I don't know. Let's just go to your calls. I'm going to shut up now. Steve, Josh, Tim, David, others. Go ahead. You're on the air, George.
Hello, Alex.
Hi.
Hello, Alex.
Yes.
Hi. Getting back to weeding out the good and bad military, I got a friend that did black ops over 30 years ago, and I wanted to share with the listeners a couple things he told me. Back in the 80s, the military issued a memo to all officers asking if they had a problem putting a gun to civilians' heads and pulling the trigger. He said that if they didn't answer yes, that their career was over as they knew it. And number two, that he still has friends in active duty that told him that a whole boatload of microchips had just recently come into the country. And I asked him if they were just for kids. He said no, for everybody. God bless you.
All right. God bless you. Anything else, sir?
That's it.
No, I mean, this is on record. This is not a secret. That special forces, especially the Delta Force, when they graduate or they've done the physical stuff, they've done the survival training, they've gone through all these levels. They're then given Machiavelli's book, The Prince, which says the end justifies the means. So you got to do evil to protect good. You got to stage terror attacks to beat the bad guys because you're still the good guys, and you've got to do all these horrible things. It's kind of a play on what Churchill said about the truth must be guarded by a bodyguard of lies. But really, once you've played that little mind game, those are just evil people that are manipulating folks who would be somewhat good to start down the road to the dark side. That you're going to get this power and be evil and do these bad things for the greater good because the enemy doesn't follow the rules. So we got to break all the rules too, so we're on an even playing field. You got that soldier, and they're already on such a power trip and so committed to this that they say, yes, they'll do it. But a lot of them say no. And, they start them out doing a lot of just regular missions. And then, by the time they've been, say, an Army officer, not even special forces, just an Army officer, they say, okay, we want to recruit you, Captain, into the Central Intelligence Agency. And we want you to do this with this agent and to work with organized crime, say in Chicago. This is a true story. And then the individual goes and they're dealing drugs in Chicago. In that case, they said they couldn't do it and left. And their career in intelligence was over. But, the government runs the major prostitution, folks. The ones they don't run, they bust. They run the cocaine. They run the heroin. They run the ecstasy. They run it all, except methamphetamine and marijuana. And that's why they wage war against those. And methamphetamine is bad for you because it'll burn you out, even if it's pharmaceutical grade. But the stuff people use on the street, because it's illegal, because it's made in back rooms with chemicals, to be technical, I shouldn't digress. They control the sub-ingredients to methamphetamine. And so people can't get those, so they have to take, instead of 2 or 3 ingredients, they got to have 10, 15 ingredients. And these people, most of them, aren't chemists, or they don't have the proper tools. Even if they did, it was hard to do. They don't separate all the poison out. They don't separate all the chemicals out and get what they need. So you're using methamphetamine, you're out of your minds. If you're using bathtub, basement methamphetamine, you are out of your minds. You use the pharmaceutical stuff, you end up like Elvis. Or John F. Kennedy was on it as well. You use the street stuff, you're out of your mind. That stuff kills those people so fast their teeth falls out. They're basically zombies running around wanting more methamphetamine, because you might as well just drink Drano, folks. It is so bad. Just a public service announcement there, right there for you. But that's why they go after marijuana and methamphetamine so bad, because they don't control it. And so that's how they corrupt these people into their